Good morning, sir.
Yeah, very good morning. So, can you have your resume, please? So your name is Sai Teja.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So, Sai Teja, introduce yourself.
Sir, I feel very lucky to be interviewed by this company. I hope to get this job. And I'm Saitija. I'm from Kamareddy. My father is a businessman, mother is a teacher. And I did my engineering in Malareddy College of Engineering with 74 percentage, and did my schooling in Archie High School with 97 percentage. And I completed my intermediate in Sri Gayatri College with 96 percentage. And I'm from CSE background, sir. I have learned some languages like C, C++, Java, Python, .NET, HTML, CSS. And I have completed some internship programs on Internshala based on Python and web development. And my hobbies are playing cricket, listening music, sir. I have good communication skills and I'm a quick learner. And my short-term goal is to get a job in reputational company, and my long-term goal is to make coding in my master's, sir.
Yeah. So, So, you can knowledge on Java.
Yes, sir.
So what is meant by exception?
So exception is nothing but it's an abnormal condition, and when an unwanted or unexpected event which disturbs the normal flow of the program is called as exception, sir. In the process of handling exception is called exception handling. The main advantage of exception handling is to keep the normal flow of the program, and the mechanism of runtime exception handling is to handling the runtime exceptions like class not found exceptions, input output exceptions, and SQL exceptions. The main aim of exception handling is to graceful the termination of the program, sir.
Yeah. So could you please explain one example?
So exception handling.
Yeah.
So if you want to read the data from my file which is located in London, and if the file is not present, we will continue with the local file which is present with us, and this process is known as exception handling, sir.
So So in exception handling, we can use the some keywords. So what is the main summary of that keywords? So could you please tell?
So the different types of keywords, try, catch, finally. And in try keyword, this try keyword is which specifies the block where exception code is placed. And by that we can say that try block is not accessible with only once. It can be followed by the try catch block and finally block. And catch block is used to catch the errors. It will catch multiple errors so that it performs different operations when an exception occurs. And finally block is used to access the only necessary part of the code of the program, sir. It explains whether exception handling is done or not, and this final block is used to put an important code, sir. So it's like a cleanup code, like closing a file or closing the connection. These are the keywords.
So So what is the difference between checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions?
So checked exceptions are checked at the compiler, and unchecked exceptions are not checked at the compile time. And in checked exception, this is checked at the compile time for the smooth execution of the program, sir. Whereas these checked exceptions which inherits the throwable classes and not runtime exceptions and errors is called checked exceptions. Whereas, sir, example, real-time example, if my mother is checking my hall ticket and pen working or not, if I am going to an exam, my mother is a compiler, I am the program. So if any errors are checked by the compiler, and in coming to the unchecked exceptions are which inherits the runtime exceptions. Examples are null pointer exceptions and arithmetic exceptions. And coming to the checked exceptions are checked at the compile time, whereas unchecked exceptions are not checked at the compile time, but they are checked at the runtime.
Okay. So so what is the difference between partially checked and purely checked? So could you please one real time example also?
Sure, sir.
Yeah.
If a checked exception is said to be a fully checked exception, when it's all the child classes are to be checked, then it is called as fully checked exception. Example: when I'm going to airport, the security guard will check me, and the kid who came with me also they will check, sir. So this is example of fully checked exception.
Okay.
And coming coming to the partially checked exception, the exception which is said to be a partially checked exception if checked only some of the child classes only. That means if we go to shopping mall with some kid and they will check me, but they will not check the kid. This is an example of partial checked exception, sir.
Okay, so exactly. So okay, so what is the difference between throws, and throwable?
Sir, actually there are only 5 keywords in Java, sir, which are try, catch, finally, throw, throws. There is no thrown keyword in Java, sir. And exception, and especially exception, I mean there is no such keyword, sir.
So yeah, so okay, so what is the difference between throws and throw? I mean throw and throws.
Throw is these both are the concepts from exception handling in Java, and throw keyword is used to throw the exception from the method or block of code, whereas throws keyword is used to in which is present in the signature of the method, sir. And throw is checked exceptions are cannot be propagated by using the throw keyword, but checked exceptions are propagated with the help of throws keyword. And throw is used within the method, and throws is used with the method signature, and throw is followed by the instance. And
So so okay, so what are the differences between finally and finalizer?
sir, final is a keyword and access modifier in Java, and finally is a block of statement, and finalize is a method in Java. Coming to the application, final is used for the classes and methods and variables, and finally is used for the block of statements like try and catch, and finalize is used for the objects. Coming for the working, final keyword cannot be extended. For classes, if a class is said to be final, then we can't extend the classes. If a method is said to be final, we can't override it. If a variable is said to be final, then we can not reassign the variables. Coming to the finally is executed with the try and catch block statements, and finalize when we clean up the properties which before the object destruction. And coming to the execution, finally is executed when we are calling, and finally is executed after the completion of execution of try and catch blocks, and finalize is executed before the object destruction.
Okay. So okay. What are the differences between exception and error?
So exception can be recoverable, error cannot be recoverable. And in exception there are two types of classifications, checked exceptions and unchecked exceptions. Whereas errors, there is no such type of classifications. All the errors are unchecked versions only, and checked exceptions are occurred by the programmers, whereas errors are not occurred by the programmers.
Okay, so that are the differences between exceptions and errors. Okay, so fine. So okay, so which class acts as root map for all exceptions?
Throwable, sir.
Throwable or throws?
Throwable only, sir.
Throwable. Okay, so you confidently say that throwable. So okay, so could you please explain the runtime stack mechanism?
Sir, for every thread, JVM will only provides the runtime stack, sir.
Okay.
For each and every call, it will store by the it is done in the thread. It will stored in the stack, sir. And after completion of every method by a thread, it is removed by the corresponding to the runtime stack, sir. And each and every entry by the runtime stack is also called as activation record or stack frame, sir. And after completion of the method, stack will be empty, and runtime stack will be destruct, sir, by the JVM only before the termination of the thread, sir.
Okay, so that is nothing but the runtime stack.
Runtime stack.
So okay, so could you please explain the diagrammatic view of runtime stack mechanism?
Sure, sir.
Yeah. Okay, so Ravi.
Sir, first in the stack there is a main method, sir.
Yeah.
It should be followed by the do steps, sir. And this do steps will more implement with the do more steps, sir.
Okay.
Afterwards there will be termination process, sir. First the do more step will be eliminated, sir, by the JVM.
Okay.
And next the do step will be eliminated, sir. And finally there is only main method in the stack, sir. Afterwards there is a elimination of main method, sir. Then there is a Stack is empty, sir.
Yeah, okay. So that empty stack will be performed by the JVM.
JVM, yes.
Okay. So okay, good. So what we okay, RPC ఏంటి? So అదే ఇవ్వండి RPC ఏంటి? So okay, so ఏమని చెప్తానంటే so explain the keyword summary of the exception handling concept.
Sir, there are 5 keywords, sir.
Okay.
Try, catch, finally, throw, throws.
Okay.
And in try, it is used to maintain the risky code. In catch, it is used to handle the risky code.
Okay.
And in finally, it cleans up the code.
Okay. So start.
Sir, where it comes to the throw block, and which you have created exception is given to the JVM manually.
Okay.
And it comes to the throws, and it delegate the work to the
ఓకేనా సో ఓకే సో చెప్పే నేను కంటిన్యూగా స్టార్ట్ అయినా
చేయండి
కంటిన్యూ చేయి
so throw which you have created exception handling given to the JVM manually.
Okay.
And throws a delegate which gives work to the caller method.
ఓకే సో ఓకే దట్స్ ఫైన్
These are the